Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Are you kidding me? A $150,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year? I mean, we're already in June. There's only about 6 months left. Listen to this.
The other lead I didn't want to bury, and this is another like crazy call, Tom. 150,000 on Bitcoin by the end of the year. It's already June.
Yes, we're still constructive on Bitcoin. There's the tailwinds that are associated with the halving that just took place. We also know because of the Bitcoin ETF, and there have been tremendous inflows, but institutional sort of adoption and infrastructure being built around Bitcoin is only beginning. And that makes, crypto, especially Bitcoin, a bona fide asset class. And I think that sort of widening ownership is going to be propelling Bitcoin to 150,000. And again, maybe surprising or not surprising, Bitcoin still follows math. More than 87% of the move in Bitcoin still follows just the number of wallets and the activity per wallet, and both are moving higher.
You must trust the math. This is Tom Lee, head of research at FS Insight. And as you guys heard it here, he's predicting a Bitcoin by the end of the year. So within the next 6 months, going up to roughly $150,000 per coin. Now, we did see some bullish momentum on the Bitcoin chart starting yesterday. We were trading below $70,000, guys. We were in and around $68,800. And then it went up above $70,000. So that got people really, really excited, in and around 71,000. So this is Bitcoin on the hourly. Let me just throw Bitcoin on the daily for you guys. And if you remember yesterday, I was discussing this idea that we were forming support here at this level in and around 67,000, the same resistance level that we saw back in late April 2024. And that, it was a possibility that we would base along here before we started moving higher. Well, now, guys, we're already starting to move higher. But, my theory still stands. I don't think, we would have to still get up above this level here and then form a solid base, not just wick up and then come back down. We would have to form a solid base up and around here now. And so that would make a higher level of support. It could happen. We still have to wait and see, though. As of the time of this recording, we are seeing a Bitcoin now trading in and around 70,700. So Bitcoin has been bringing the market up. Obviously, now we're seeing a bit of a retrace for the King crypto. But guys, Bitcoin ultimately has been bringing the market up. We're seeing the market cap up now, up 2.67% since yesterday in the last 24 hours. Market volume rather, that is up by 20%, just over 20% here. Bitcoin dominance still standing strong in and around 53.2. So you can see that money is going into Bitcoin. We can see greed is now at 65, so that's up too by a few points. And pretty much a sea of green. Binance Coin gaining quite a bit, 9.23%, guys, up to over $700 per coin. And Binance Coin was one of those ones that actually did breach its all-time high yesterday. I don't know if there was any specific news that was getting this coin up, but we're all looking at these altcoins now, paying attention to what they're doing, because this is going to be a big signifier of when we are to expect more cryptocurrency euphoria. Now, this is Ethereum. You can see Ethereum is still off its all-time high by roughly 21%. So there is still some room to go for the second largest cryptocurrency in the space, but it is good to see that other cryptocurrencies like BNB coin, of course, number 3, if you exclude Tether's USDT, that has been gaining and has finally breached its all-time high. So we're waiting for some other ones, some major ones like Solana. Of course, XRP, once that breaches, well, who knows what the story will be at that time. Got to keep following the entire space, look at the macro situation. And for those of you guys interested, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Targets are going to be coming up. I'm analyzing the crypto market as we're seeing these current moves. I'm also going to be posting a top 5 altcoin list. So excluding the big name brands, if you guys are interested in what I'm seeing, it's patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Let's take a look at XRP right now. Has it been following Bitcoin? We haven't really seen too much movement for XRP as of late. Even though we have seen Bitcoin rally, XRP is still trading in and around 52.6. So the last cryptocurrency to rally generally is XRP. But, we should be paying attention to as well, what is going on behind the curtain? Well, apparently BlackRock just bought 3,900 Bitcoin today. Could that be the reason why we're seeing, Bitcoin rallying? They probably have something up their sleeve. Nick Crypto Crusader here pointing this out. They are going to tokenize stocks and run a tokenized stock exchange. So this news also came out on the heels of this announcement of BlackRock purchasing 3,900 BTC. You can almost hear Wall Street panicking. This was always the plan, and BlackRock does not lose. Very wise words. Focus on what Larry Fink has been telling you and listen very closely. They say a lot without truly telling you the plan. It's now unfolding in real time. So he was retweeting it. Watch your gurus tweet, guys. Basically, that BlackRock and Citadel plan to launch a new national stock exchange in Texas, and this would compete directly with Wall Street. Boom goes the dynamite. I was not expecting that. So guys, BlackRock and Citadel Securities are now among investors backing a group seeking to start a new national stock exchange in Texas. The TXSE chairman and CEO James Lee said that the Dallas headquartered group has raised $120 million with the support of more than 24 investors. Texas's booming economy and the strong economic and population growth among states in the southern quadrant of the United States present incredible opportunities for business and ultimately the Texas Stock Exchange. The Wall Street Journal reported on the endeavor earlier, saying the exchange is billing itself as more CEO-friendly alternative to the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ in the face of rising regulation and a dissatisfaction with increasing compliance costs. A contested NASDAQ rule requires listed companies to disclose diversity information on their board of directors. The SEC approved the plan in 2021, but it now faces a new challenge in the federal appeals court. So... boy, this is out of left field, but you know, it's going to bode well for the U.S. economy. I got to admit, you know, the competition will be good, I think. Chandler Frog saying, you know, this is a major middle finger to NY, and it certainly is. This will be truly interesting, not necessarily for BlackRock, but for Citadel, says LP here. By tokenizing, all shares will be located on the blockchain. There can be no naked shorting or F3 override, no FTD, and no dark pool, and no offshore BS. All shares will be accounted for on the blockchain. If you guys remember, Larry Fink did say this not too long ago. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. Courtesy of Good Morning Crypto, listen to this.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities around bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
You better believe it. So tokenizing everything on the blockchain, is that now what BlackRock plans to do in conjunction with Citadel in Texas, no less, in direct competition with the NYSE? I mean, this is mind-blowing, I got to say, but I'm not surprised. I guess we should have seen it coming. Wanted to thank Watcher Guru, Nick, there as well, and Thomas, as well as Swan for that initial Tom Lee clip. Now, how close are we, guys, to the euphoria? AO here posting this. So this is generally what we see for the trend. Generally, we see that bear market for about a year, and then the bull market, guys, kicks off. The first half is fairly exciting, but that last half, you guys can see that curve, how we really kind of go parabolic as we start moving higher and higher. The top chart is 2014 to 2017, and now we are in 2022 to 2025. We are here, guys, right at the precipice, pretty much at that midway point before the euphoria does kick in. So, you know, I'm getting very, very excited about this, but who still thinks we're going to underperform? I mean, us being XRP hodlers, Bill Morgan here pointing out some, well, their statistics. I mean, we can't argue with the facts. Who still thinks this underperformance is because of the lawsuit or the 2018 speech? 11 months after XRP obtained jurisdictional legal clarity that the token itself is not a security, we are still seeing XRP outperformed by 83% of the top 100 crypto assets in 1 year, outperformed by Bitcoin and Ethereum, trading below the 200-day simple moving average. We were not expecting that. I mean, back in here, again, this was a year ago, almost a year ago, 11 months ago, as Bill points out, we did get this FOMO pump for XRP on the news that XRP was declared not a security in the United States. However, we didn't really get any pickup after that. It was pretty much just trading sideways as it usually does in a spec run. I mean, we were hoping that maybe we would get an anomaly here. But guys, you got to remember how XRP rolls. Remember the halving of 2020. And this is the XRP chart. So when Bitcoin did halve in 2020, this is what XRP was doing. We did see about a month of downward movement. So halving doesn't really affect XRP in the immediate term. And then we started seeing a bit of an uptick there. Of course, this was the beer flu black swan event. So I want to discount what happened there. But generally speaking, as altcoins do pump, hopefully we do see XRP pump as well. And, generally speaking, what we do see is after a few months, well, in this example here, after the halving, it took about 335 days after the halving before we did see XRP finally reach that new inter-year high in 2021. So guys, there still is some time to go. Just a guy pointing this out, but you don't understand. It's like a coiled spring getting tighter and tighter. I stand by this. This base, guys, has been the longest base in XRP history now after a capitulation event. And the positive news is that the trend continues moving upward generally without breaking too far below. I mean, we've been seeing some wicks wick down, but guys, the trend is still looking very positive for XRP. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. It also helps that Ripple is one of the best payments and collection solutions. This coming from XRP Drops here. This was an award they just received. Had a fantastic time representing Ripple at the AAA Awards Gala by the asset in Hong Kong recently. Excited to witness the rekindled collaboration between banks like DBS Bank and fintechs, especially in the digital asset space. Impressed by the open-minded approach from former colleagues in financial institutions in Singapore and Hong Kong towards exploring new payments and custody use cases. Also highlighting here Ripple's partnership, one of their early partnerships with DBS Bank. So we are seeing that, Ripple is still moving forward, even though we haven't seen these partnerships really kind of, materialize in the kind of real world utility that we were hoping for. They are still being acknowledged. And, once the whole world gets on a new financial system, I think that's when we're going to see the lion's share of this. Wrath of Kahneman here also posting this. 2 Ripple users have signed a significant partnership, guys. This has to do with Ripple user DLocal and RIA Money. This integration brings RIA's 30 years of experience in money remittance and DLocal's expertise in local payment knowledge to the EMEA region and the Latin American corridor. Remittances continue to be a tool for financial security and economic development for millions of people around the world. And in 2023, according to the World Bank, remittance flows to low and middle income countries were estimated at $669 billion. That grew about 3.8%. So here we're seeing 2 Ripple partners, guys, a large remittance provider like RIA, updating their technology and enabling peer-to-peer transactions with the firm DLocal. And here you have more geographical regions that are generally or historically have been underserved, now allowing for more payment flows, allowing these countries in these particular regions of the world to be banked, updating their technology. So some great news here from 2 Ripple partners, not just 1, but 2. And, I've said this before, we are seeing a lot more of these dual Ripple partnerships now partnering together because they see the benefit, the synergy. Mike Manfield here also bringing this up, guys. Ripple partner Neum retains unicorn status on a $50 million Series E funding round. So Neum has just received some more funding. The Sovereign Wealth Fund joins other newly added investors from Neum's prior funding round, including Bond, New View Capital, and Tribe Capital. The founder of Neum, he said, this investment defies current funding sentiment in fintech and is a vote of confidence in Neum's growth ambitions. So I'm guessing fintech, I guess maybe they're not really getting the same kind of funds that they were a few years ago. Here we have a company, Neum, who is still seeing this type of funding, which is positive. They're focusing now on marketplaces, SaaS platforms, travel, and financial institutions for whom the payments are mission critical. That was another part of the quote there. With regulatory licenses and authorizations in more than 40 countries, Neum's payout network supports 100 currencies and spans 220 plus countries. We're seeing these companies too expand even further than they used to. I remember like a few years ago, a lot of these companies were servicing maybe 5 or 6 different countries in maybe, 10 or 15 different currencies. Now we're seeing hundreds of currencies being supported in, countries, upwards of 40, 50, 100 in some cases, depending on how big the company is. So Neum, they've experienced strong revenue growth, and this is probably why they're seeing more funding. Getting out of the pandemic as well, I'm sure that has been a catalyst too for these companies to do well, especially over 2023 and now into 2024. So Neum, a Ripple partner, retaining unicorn status, receiving even more investment money. Mike down here just adding some points. And I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested. Moving along though, guys, an XRP ETP is more realistic in the US than most may realize. Now, the reason for this comment, we just got Brad Garlinghouse coming out on Fox Business saying that an XRP ETF is going to happen in 2025. There were some mixed views on this, some mixed sentiments. Here's a clip of the interview from the Liz Clayman Show. Watch this.
What about an XRP ETF? You were speaking at the Consensus 2024 conference just a week ago, and you said inevitable, not just for XRP, but Solana and Cardano, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But XRP in particular, the SEC has tried to throw you down in court.
Yeah.
Don't you think that Gensler and company might just say, now that one, no way?
I think it's a hard argument with them to win. I mean, can they make life difficult? They've made life difficult for a lot of people, then they've lost in court. What I was talking about at the Consensus conference last week in Austin was that people don't want just exposure to one commodity. So if you have exposure to gold, you might want exposure to silver. If you have exposure to other commodities. And so to me, it only makes sense. You don't want to have just a single threaded asset exposure. So I think people also forget that it wasn't that long ago, before the SEC got involved, that XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. And that was before the SEC kind of anointed ETH. Then they couldn't answer the question, is ETH a security or not? And now they've approved the ETF. They contradict each other. It's very contradict themselves. It's very difficult to follow.
Let's not assume that all our investor audience understand what XRP is. XRP is the token or the coin that Ripple, which is a money transaction site, right, that is charged, right?
Yeah.
You get paid in XRP, but it's become something that people can also buy whether they use the Ripple blockchain, right?
Correct. So XRP is a digital asset, not that dissimilar than Bitcoin or ETH. There's different characteristics of each asset. Bitcoin has really become digital gold and has thrived because of that. ETH, there's a lot of excitement around the smart contracts capabilities. XRP is extremely fast on a per transaction basis and extremely inexpensive. People talk about gas fees and transaction costs of some other tokens. Ripple uses XRP as part of our technical stack to do cross-border payment flows.
And you charge whoever's moving the money,
Correct.
what, 0.00001 of XRP, which stands around 51 cents or something right now. But here's my question. Right now, the main competitor in that space is SWIFT. That, of course, is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Transactions. That's the global one that a lot of people use. They charge much more, do they not?
Yeah, they really are the dominant. I mean, SWIFT has been around for, 50, 60 years. And the frustrating part for all of us as users of SWIFT is that it really hasn't changed in 50 or 60 years.
But let's get to the meat and potatoes. Are we going to see an XRP ETF?
XRP ETF, when?
I think we're going to see it, I think it'll probably be 2025.
Next year?
Yeah,
all right.
Not too far away.
Good to see you.
Very
We'll
good
see
to
if
see
that happens and if it comes to pass.
2025, there you go. And he's committing to that date. Jeffrey XRP here saying terrible interview with Brad Garlinghouse, XRP ETF sometime in 2025. I don't know. This investment sucks, right? I'm used to it. Hope you guys are having a great day. Any prayer requests, just let me know. I got you. So I'm not going to play this clip, but there are people that aren't too happy about this and that they feel like they've been schooled, I guess. They feel like they've been deceived, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it. I think for a lot of us, we did think that this point in time, 11 months ago, when we did get clarity on XRP, that we would have seen more activity for the XRP cryptocurrency. Guys, is it such a bad thing? Well, what I can tell you, just from past experiences, that XRP is not deviated from its trading pattern. It is good news that we are still in a speculative market. That would suggest that XRP will, in fact, fly up near the end of the euphoria phase. When we do see alts take off, we are going to see XRP likely follow in their footsteps, but probably take the reins and make higher gains than a lot of these altcoins already have or will. In 2025, you got to remember, guys, that's only about 6 months away. That is not that far. We also have to remember that 2025 is going to coincide with the most liquid time in the crypto space, okay? The end of the euphoria phase, if we are to assume that roughly around 500 days post-halving, we are going to see the top of the market. So is that such a bad time frame? I know we all want to be rich now. We still have to be vigilant, still have to pay attention. And again, for those of you guys interested in what my plan is this trading cycle, you can all follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. But that is just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.